Hey guys, and welcome back to Play the Game Central. I am Mr. Joe Trocious, and today we're going to be talking about my top 5 most hated things about Battlefield 1. I could have easily made a top 5 favorite things about Battlefield 1 because it's really easy to do, but a lot of people, when they look for video games, they want to know the shortcomings because they can already see the good, but they want to know what's hidden behind the curtains. Now, this top 5 isn't in any particular order. I'm just going to go through a list that I've created, and you guys can pick and choose below in the comment section below which one you think is actually the #1 worst thing about Battlefield 1. So to start us off, the first thing that's really bothered me about Battlefield 1 so far is the progression. The progression in Battlefield 1 is really slow after you hit rank 3 with any particular class, because between rank 3 and rank 10, you're not really getting anything. There's nothing in between to fill that gap. You're not unlocking weapons, you're not unlocking gadgets, you're not really unlocking anything between 3 and 10 for any of the classes, as far as I know. Personally, I've been working on Assault non-stop since I've been playing the game, which means all of my other classes are really far behind because it takes so long to reach rank 10 with Assault. You may as well just be like, I'm playing Battlefield 1 to play Assault, or I'm playing Battlefield 1 to play a Scout, because once you pick a role, you're going to be stuck in it for a while until you max it out, until you feel like you've completed the goal that you set out to do. Which isn't to say the game isn't fun while you're progressing, it's just the fact that you're not getting any rewards while you're doing it. Even as simple as getting something like a revision crate would have made the whole process seem a lot more rewarding. I personally played Assault for almost a week straight because the only gun that I actually wanted to unlock in the game was the Hell Regal, or the Hell Regal, however you want to pronounce it. I don't really know because I'm not German. But in doing so, I felt like I was getting really bored of the game really quick because I didn't feel like I was progressing at all. So that's one huge drawback in Battlefield 1, is the progression seems really lackluster to me personally. You guys might have a different opinion on that. Now that we've gone over progression, it actually segues into my next most hated thing about Battlefield 1, which is class imbalance. Now, if you do play Battlefield 1, you'll already know that there's a rock, paper, scissors meta right now in Battlefield 1, and I think that's not going anywhere anytime soon. And what I mean by rock, paper, scissors is sniper up in the hills is obviously going to kill a shotgun down in the woods that can't see him, so on and so forth. So if you have a medium meeting up with a shotgun, the shotgun's going to win if they're face to face. So rock, paper, scissors is basically their meta in determining what guns win at what ranges. So what I'm talking about when I say class imbalance, I'm talking about the class actually being playable and viable in certain situations and making them worthwhile to play. Now, in my opinion, the most worthwhile class to play is the Scout, because you can actually modify it to be mid to close range combat depending on the gun that you choose, so you can actually play all these different ranges, which doesn't really limit the Scout all that much. The Scout also comes with K-bullets, which is really helpful for taking out vehicles, and they also have things like trip mines, so when you're wanting to camp, you can just put it in a doorway and feel safe. So the Scouts have all these many things for different situations, whereas when you look at something like Assault, you don't really have too many options. As far as I've noticed, the only job that an Assault class has is to blow up vehicles. And the reason I say that is because every single thing in their kit is geared towards that. Now you might say, yeah, Joe, that's their job, that's what they do. Assault takes care of tanks and that's what they do. But I call bullshit. I don't think an Assault's job should only be taking care of vehicles, because there's not vehicles on every single map, and there's not a reason to always be blowing up a vehicle, which limits you to basically shooting people with an AT gun or using your kind of OP trench gun automatico. So that's really your option. And the reason I went from Scout to Assault in comparison, because both support and medics both have a kit they can throw down that is actually super beneficial to not only yourself, but everybody around you. So you can throw down medic crates as a medic, and you can throw down ammo crates as a support, meaning that you have all of these different ways of earning points. Whereas when you're playing Assault and you're trying to take care of tanks, if there's no tanks, you're not earning points as quick, other than standing on the points and flags and dying over and over again. They may as well have just called Assault Kamikaze. And again, since we're talking about weapons, that's going to also segue into my next most hated thing about Battlefield 1, which is the weapons are absolutely boring. Now, you might disagree, and I'm sure that a lot of you will. It's World War I. What could they really do with the weapons? But that's not really the point. It's not what they could do, it's what's not there, because it just makes it boring to me, is the fact that there's no weapon progression. Personally, I think that they could have done a lot with the weapon progression if they would have thought outside the box just a little bit more, such as being able to change the stocks on a gun, being able to change the barrels, or even being able to change the ammo type to something else would have helped the gun progression a lot more. Let's be honest, in World War I, not every single gun looked the same. Some people sawed the stock off of their guns, some people used different barrels. There was a lot of different things that you could have done to the gun, even if it wasn't exactly true to history. You could have tweaked it a little bit because, let's be honest, it's a video game. Which actually kind of reference back to the progression system being lackluster. There's not really anything you can unlock for your weapons. There's just nothing there for your weapons. All you're doing is unlocking variants of a gun that you already have, which, to be honest, gets boring really quick just playing with the same gun all of the time. There's simply no weapon progression, and I don't know what they could do to remedy the situation. I think they kind of dug their own grave with that. Speaking of digging graves, don't be a dick if you're a squad leader. This is my 4th most hated thing about Battlefield 1 on the list. Squads and people working together just seems to not really happen unless you're playing with a group of friends. There's honestly a lot of things that they could do to fix this, and I'm going to go over that right now. So, the first thing that they could do is make it so that squads can only be private for a set amount of time. Because the issue here is when you join into a game and everybody is in there with their friend and they only have one friend with them, you end up with 5 different squads with only 2 people in it, and you're forced to make a squad by yourself, meaning that you're not getting as many points as you could, and people are just not benefiting from being and working together. And what I meant by don't be a dick if you're a squad leader is it's really annoying, and this is probably one of my most frustrating things about Battlefield 1, is when you join a squad and the person that owns the squad or is the squad leader is a sniper and he's sitting up in the hills just sniping the entire game, and there's no other squads to join into, and you constantly sit there and request orders. Nobody gives them to you, so you're not earning the points that you could be for capping the points and objectives that you are. So what this leads to is me leaving your squad, creating my own squad alone, making it so that I can capture the objectives and get points for them, but it's also keeping me from having multiple spawn points and being able to get back into the action quicker because you decided to sit up in the fucking hills and snipe for 2 hours and not care about the objectives. A really easy fix for this would be is to just make it so that if somebody requests an order and you don't give one within a minute or 2, it automatically gives that person who requested the order the option to become squad leader. They can choose to accept or deny, and if they accept it, they can then set the squad objectives, and then you can cap points and earn points for your squad. And last but not least, this is kind of a joke one, but in all seriousness, I fucking hate gas grenades. I think they need to do something about the way that gas grenades work in Battlefield 1, because imagine this. You're up against a team of 40, up against a team of 40. Everybody has gas grenades equipped, which means that everybody's going to have to run around with gas masks on. This ruins the fundamentals of Battlefield 1 and their rock, paper, scissors meta. What I mean by this is if you're using a gun that's long ranged or medium to long range and you're forced to put a gas mask on because that's all anybody is doing, you're going to be using guns that just suck, and you're going to lose the firefights 9 times out of 10 by just simply having a team that's all throwing gas grenades. So basically what I'm getting at here is if you want your team to win every game, just tell everybody to equip automatico trenches so that you have that really amazing hip fire, pop on a gas mask, have everybody throw gas grenades on the points, and you will win 10 times out of 10, I promise you. And to me, that's a huge drawback. That's an issue. I look at that as an issue, not something that was intentionally done on DICE's part, and I hope they look at that in the future, maybe limit it to the amount of people that can actually equip gas grenades, the same way they did it on previous games where you could only have a certain amount of snipers on your team to kind of keep that balance in check. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If there was something in this video that you hate about Battlefield 1 that you want me to see, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section below. I will be sure to look at that and probably respond to it. But as always, guys, it's been fun, it's been me, and I will see you all next video.